Hi guys, I'm back for another live. No, you guys, really. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing this guy. Hey guy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm going to be showing him how to use a sewing machine. Okay, as we have here set up, we're going to be using a Singer today. And I'm basically just going to be showing him how to set it up, how to put his bobbin in, put his main thread in. So let me just set up the camera here so I can talk with you guys. And by the way, if you like these earrings, I will be having a tutorial on them. So let me just set up this camera really quickly. Hopefully it will stay straight for us, for the gods.
You should take the phone because I'm gonna ask you what is that, what you are using.
Take the phone?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You should take it.
Bring it closer?
Yeah. No, here.
There? Well, for now, I'm just going to give a little intro. I'm just going to give a quick intro. But then once I finish that, I'll bring it closer. Here, burpees. Oh. I'm here. I'm here. Oh, gosh.
Two people.
Sorry about that. Okay, so let me just tilt it a little. So, as you guys can see, actually, I feel like this has to be perfect or I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah, that looks good to me. Okay, so yeah. So for those of you just joining, I am gonna be showing Murat here how to set up his sewing machine. So setting it up means putting the thread in, putting the bobbin in, even putting his needle. I'll show him how to put the needle in as well, and also show him how to do a basic stitch on this pattern of nothing. So have you sewn before? No. Do you think you know how to sew?
I saw, yeah. That's why I have a little bit idea.
You see me sew. So do you think it's easy or you think it's hard?
It looks easy.
It looks easy? Okay. Yeah, and you're right. It is easy. So you guys hear that? It looks easy because it is easy. So let me go ahead and get into it. Now I'm just going to take everything off so that it's like a bare machine. So right now I'm just taking the thread out. And I am using, I know, I'm like not the most graceful. I'm using a Singer sewing machine, and this is like the basic bitch of sewing machines, excuse my French, but it's very basic. And yeah, so I mean, this goes to tell you that I'm not like, you don't need to have like the creme of the crop type of sewing machine. Like, you don't need that. Oh, sorry. I'm like manhandling everything. As long as you have like a sewing machine in general, you're good. You're good to go. So I'm just, again, for those of you just joining, I'm going to be showing Murat here how to set up his machine. And I am literally just taking everything apart right now so that it looks like a very like new, untouched machine that needs setting up. Just gonna cut this. So, alright, so I took out the thread, I took out the top thread, I took out the bottom thread, and what else do I need to take out? I'm gonna take out the needle as well.
Needle too?
Yep.
Come on.
Everything. Okay, so everything has been taken out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm a little dark. So I'm gonna go to the pattern and I'm gonna show you guys how to just kind of set up your pattern. So if you watch my sewing basics for beginners mini series, then you'll see that I have a video on seam allowance and patterns and things like that, and I have more videos coming. So for now, I'm just gonna show you guys. I'm gonna just put this here. Sorry, I have a lot of boobs in this video today, so hope that's not a problem for anybody. I'm gonna show you guys how to take this pattern. It's not really a pattern, it's just a piece of fabric, but we're going to pretend it's a pattern, and we're going to put seam allowance on it so that Murat knows where he needs to be sewing. So let me just adjust the camera. And come here, Murat. Please. Alright, so what you're going to be doing, usually when we're adding seam allowance, one way to do it is to take like a fabric marker and then just kind of make like, so like this would be, let's say this is the original line of the pattern, so this edge here is the original line of the pattern. Usually when we're making seam allowance, what we would do is we would add another line, and we literally would just do like, we would take a measuring tape and we would do 1/2 inch, and we'd do a dot here, 1/2 inch, a dot here, a dot, 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 and then we would connect all of the dots, and then that would be your seam allowance line. But I don't have a pencil today, so instead what we're going to do is we're going to use this thing here, and this is a seam gauge. So first what we're going to do, Murat, excuse my nails, a mess, horrible, we're going to decide how wide we want our seam to be, right? So we want our seam to be a 1/2 inch. So can you find a 1/2 inch on there for me?
1/2 inch?
Mm-hmm.
Here?
Yeah, 1/2 inch. Okay. So you want to bring your, wait, let them see. So you want to bring your the blue thing in the middle to the 1/2 inch. Show them though. Show them when you do it. Right? So how did you do that? You just slide it up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take that seam gauge and you're going to line it up with the edge, and you're going to also need some pins, and you're going to fold it. So the best way to do this is to do it the other way. So to do like this, and then just kind of, and then just kind of fold this like so. So you want to fold it over first and then measure. Is that a 1/2 inch? Yes, right? So you want to keep doing that all the way down. I hope you guys saw it. Oh, it's out of frame. So let me show you again what I did. Actually, you show them what I did. What did I do?
You show you. Explain maybe.
So he's folding over the edge of the fabric, and he's lining up his blue button, which is the 1/2 inch mark. He's lining it up to make sure that it's actually a 1/2 inch fold, right?
Right.
It's a 1/2 inch, right? And then you're going to take your pin and you're going to pin it. Okay, good. And you're going to just keep, so you can lift this up if you want, take it up, and then just bring it down.
I'm doing right.
You're doing it right. So he's just going to continue this all the way down on the pattern, right?
Pin it to pen.
You need a what?
Pen.
A pen?
Mm-hmm.
What's a pen for what?
For dry.
It's easier, so you're saying that it's easier with the pen? That's what you're saying? Yeah, I think it's easier with the pen too because it's faster, but we do what we can. Let's bring it up some bit. Bring it down. Okay, so you're done, right? So let's show them what it looks like. So this is what Murat did for his seam allowance. Now, what's wrong with this? What do you think is wrong with this?
Here.
Where?
Here.
Yeah, what's wrong?
It's long.
So
We have to walk.
the problem is that this is too high. When you start sewing, your needle, where's your needle gonna go? Because the pin is here. So you just want to bring it down. So.
Show them.
So I'm just gonna bring that pin down because you need space for your needle, right? And the other thing that's important that he did really well, good job, babe, Murat, good job, Murat, is that he put his pins to the side, right? So they're all horizontal, and that's good because when you're sewing, essentially, it's easier to just boop, pluck, pluck, pluck. But if you do it the other way, like this, hold on. If you do it like this, it's harder because one, you're gonna have to take this whole pin out because you're sewing vertically, right? You're sewing like this. So you're gonna have to take this thing out, and then it's gonna be a little pain in the butt because you have to put your hand here and wiggle. Whereas with this, you're literally just like pulling, 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 pulling. So he did a great job with making his pins horizontal. Yay! So, alright, so we have that. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna move over to our machine and we're gonna start sewing this bad boy. But before we start sewing it, we're gonna set up our machine. So let's do that. Sorry. That's what happens when you don't have your tripod. You have to make things work. You have to make it work.
You should bring it like this.
That was the goal. Okay, so we're gonna put our pattern aside. And we are gonna start setting up our machine. So, the first thing that we want to set up is our needle. So actually, can you bring it like maybe here, because I'm gonna show them this part. Where's the needle at? But don't lose your needle, you guys. Oh, I got it. Okay. So this is the needle here. And usually it comes in a pack, and you can choose what kind of needle you want if you want. I'm sorry about my nails again, you guys. Sorry. But you usually can decide if you want like a jersey needle, ballpoint, or like universal needle or whatever. This is just like a standard universal needle, right? So what you're gonna do is you are going to, hold on. Okay. So what you're gonna do is with your wheel here. So show them the wheel, please. So with your wheel on the side of the machine, you're basically, so if you turn this way to the back of the machine, it's going to bring your foot, this is your foot, it's going to bring your foot up. Now, if you turn your wheel towards you, it's going to bring your foot down, right? So I lied, actually, I'm sorry. It's not bringing your foot down. Can you go back again? I'm sorry, I lied. So if you turn that wheel away from you, it brings, so we're turning the wheel away from us, right? And let's see what happens when I do that. When I turn it away from us, it brings the needle up. Not the foot, but the needle. Brings the needle up. When you bring it towards you, it brings the needle down, okay? So to put our needle in, we need to have this needle position all the way up, right? And then what you're going to do, there's a hole under here. So you're basically going to take your needle. The flat part of your needle should be not facing you. So the round part should be facing you. And you're basically just going to stick it inside of the hole. Now, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little groove here, and you can actually see the needle going in, right? Can you see that right there? Anyways, so you're going to put the needle all the way up until it hits that little round thing inside of there, or until you can't push it anymore. And then there's a screw right here. Can you guys see the screw? Then you're going to take the screw and you're just going to screw it. And make sure you're holding onto your needle with your other hand, and you're just going to screw that needle in place. You don't want to do it too tight because then it's going to be a pain in the ass to get it out. But just tight enough for it to stay in place. And that's how you put your needle in. If you want to take out your needle to change it, or if you broke it or whatever, you literally just going to take the screw and you're going to turn it towards you, and it's going to loosen the needle, right? Woo! And then your needle comes out. Oh, shit. Ha! But be careful when you do that. Don't do like I did. Hold on to your needle when you do that. Anyways, so we're going to put it back in. Again, the flat side is facing the wall, and the round side is facing you. And we're just going to secure it in there. So that's one. The needle's in. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to put in our bobbin. So sometimes the bobbin will be here, will be down here, and other times you'll have the bobbin actually here. Can you come closer? Sometimes you'll have the bobbin underneath here and you'll be able to see it, okay? Now, I'm not working with that, so if you are, then good luck. Anyways, so you're just going to open the little flap, and as you can see, there's no bobbin in there because we have to put one in. But what you should have in there is something like this. So it usually looks like, hold on. It usually looks like this, right? So what you want to do is you want to just take this part right here and you want to pull it towards the right, like so. Pull it towards the right. Can you come like closer from here though? And actually, you're supposed to be doing this, not me. You're the beginner. Alright, so let me see. Let me change. Okay, perfect. So you see that little flap there? Can you point to it? You see that flap? Yep, you want to push it to the right, and you want to take out that piece. Good. Now show us the piece. Good. Now what you want to do is you want to take your bobbin, and this is what a bobbin looks like. Can you show us the bobbin? Thank you. This is what the bobbin looks like, and I'm also going to show you guys how to create this bobbin. Good job. And you're going to put your bobbin inside.
Like this?
Yep, in there. And now, with that thread hanging out, you're going to...
Should I leave like this?
Hold on, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. Can you just rotate this so I can see what I need? Yep, right here. So do you see that there's like... Can you hold it a little flat? Good. Can you guys see that right... I'm trying to show them this. Hello? Okay. Okay, can you guys see that right here? Hold on, it's not focused. I'm sorry. It's not focused. Okay, perfect. Can you guys see right there? There's like a little groove. I know the focus is not the best. Perfect. So you can see a little groove. You're going to take your thread, and you're going to put your thread inside of that groove. Yep. And then you're going to pull it down. Good. And then you are going to keep pulling it down, and then you're going to bring it over. Exactly. You sure you never did this before? You sure? Mm-hmm. All right. So that's exactly how you do it. You want to show them one more time for me, please? So just take it out.
See?
Okay, so that's the bobbin, and we're putting it inside. It doesn't matter if it's up or down, it's all the same. And you're putting it through, hold on, yep, you're putting it through that little groove. Wait, it's out of focus, hold on. Okay, good. You're putting it through the groove. You're pulling it all the way over to the left, to the right, and then you're pulling it down until you hear that clicking noise. And you see, you guys, it's like right in this little space. So that's the end where it should be. All right, now you're going to take that and you're going to put it inside of the machine, and you want to hold on to that flapper part. You don't want to keep it open too much, but you do want to hold on to it, and you're just going to push it inside of the machine, but keep that flapper a little open because that looks like it might fall out. Keep it open and then click it in. Yep. So let me just see. Good. Very good. Can you show them that one more time? So he's just going to pull that flap. Okay. And now he's holding on to the flap and he just pushes it in. And then he lets go of the flap and it clicks into place. Now we have this thread just hanging there, right? So we're going to leave it. Nope. We're going to keep our machine open. Keep the machine open. All right. Now we need to do the top thread. So to do the top thread, you're going to take your thread. Now, today we're using a white thread, but you should use a thread that matches the color of your fabric. You're going to take your thread and you're going to put it on your machine. Now, sometimes, hold on, sometimes your machine will be like vertical. It'll be like this. And sometimes it'll be horizontal like how mine is. But it doesn't matter. And your thread is very good. Your thread should be at the back. Okay, now, very tricky part. No, it's fine. Hold on one second. Now, your machine has instructions on how to thread it. So let's just see my instructions really quick. We have one. Don't do it yet. I'm just showing them. We have one. Don't do it yet. We have one. We have two. We have three. And then four.
Five.
Any other numbers?
That's it.
That's it, right? Okay, so you're literally going to take a thread and you're going to follow those numbers. Follow that yellow brick road.
1. 2. 3. 4.
And then that's the end. Good job. Okay. Now, do you see?
Why we can't here? No?
Yeah. You should hold here as well. So take it out.
The number is wrong.
The number is not wrong. So take it out. All right. Do it again, but this time you want to go under this. So this is like a little disc, like a sandwich, and you want to go in between it. So that's the start.
Like this?
Yep, and then come down.
But not like this?
It's the same, because either way it's going to get stuck under there.
Okay.
But you don't want too much tension, which is why I do it that way. So down, up, down. Okay, now you get here, you're like, now what? So you see that there's this little, like, groove here. I hope you guys can see that. You're just going to put your needle, you're going to bring your needle to the right, and you're going to put your needle inside of that.
I don't understand.
You don't understand? Okay. So once it's down, you bring your thread to the right.
Yeah,
So you bring in your thread so your thread is down. You should hold your thread in one hand and then bring a piece to the right and then put it behind that little disc and then down and then pull it and it's there. Okay, you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Here. Okay. Good. Now, what do you think you have to do now? You need to put it in the hole, right? Yeah. So, depending on the kind of machine you have, can you wait?
Like,
Wait,
I remember. I don't know how it's working. I just know this one.
Okay, but let me just explain it. Alright, so what you gotta do is you have to put the thread in the needle. Now, according to your machine, you might have to do it manually, and the manual way to do it is, yep. So you get your seam cutter and you just kind of make a neat end, and you get it wet. That's what he said. That's what she said. And then no, that's what she said, yeah. And then you put it into the hole. That's also what she said, but, yeah. So you put it in there. So you put it in the hole.
1 hour later.
An hour later. Moments later. I'll show you guys an easy way to do it. That you might not
It's
have
coming.
according to the type of machine you have, but you might have it though. Come on, man.
Wait.
They're waiting.
Yeah.
Got it?
I got it. Go.
Good. 3 hours later. All right. Now all of that, I'm gonna take it out. So, but yeah, that's what you have to do to thread it. Another way, according to the type of machine you have, is you should, if you have a singer like me, you should have a little foot here. You pull. So hold on to your thread. You want to pull your thread underneath this little triangle thing, and then pull this down, and then pull it over, and then let it go. When you let it go, it brings a loop to the back of your machine, to the back of the needle, excuse me, and you just pull that thread through, and it's threaded, okay? So that's how you thread it. If that is too complicated, it doesn't work for you, or you don't have it, just manually do it. Alright, so now we're stuck with these 2 pieces of thread, and the objective is to get this bottom bobbin thread up here. Okay, so how do you think we're gonna do that?
I don't know. I was thinking about it.
You was thinking about it? Alright,
I was kind of going.
So what you want to do is you want to take your wheel. This is the wheel. That's what I call the wheel. I don't know what the correct name is. And you're going to bring your needle down. But hold on 1 second. You shouldn't hold on to the bobbin thread. You should hold on to the main thread.
Main thread? This one?
Yep, hold on to that. Don't pull it. Yep. Now bring your needle down, all the way down. And your needle is going to pick up. Now bring your needle back up. And your needle is going to pick up that thread. Yep, keep going. Now stop. Don't let your needle go down twice, okay? Your needle already went down once, right? So it looks like it's about to go down. So bring it back up before it goes down. Good. Now, hold on. No, you didn't grab it. So let's try it again. Hold on to that main thread. Now bring your needle down, all the way down. And bring it up. Yep. Keep holding on to the main thread. Now pull that main thread. Right, and there you have the bobbin thread. You see it? Hold on. Your hand is in the way. And then you're just going to pull it up. Can you do that again? Because your hand was like all in the camera. Do it again, babe.
How can I go?
How can you do it again? Take out the bobbin. Just take it out. You don't have to reset it. Just take it out. Okay, now.
Okay.
So, he's taking the wheel and he's bringing it all the way down. And when he does that, you can see, and he just pulled it on the side. Yep, and it pulled the thread through. Now he's just going to pull that thread out like so. Good. And there he has his two. Now you can close that bottom thing. Okay. And then he's going to neatly organize his threads. So you should have your threads out. Now you don't need this much out. Hold this really quickly. So just cut it. Okay, good. So you should have about this amount out. Now you're going to put your thing back in. So, okay, now you're going to take your pattern.
What does it mean? This one, this one, this one, this one. Can you
Well,
explain?
for today, that's not the focus, but this here is your tension. So this is how tight this foot is.
Ah.
So basically, when you're dealing with like a stretchy fabric, you don't want it too tight because then the fabric is going to like bunch up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're dealing with a fabric that's not stretchy, then you probably want like, either way, you want your tension in the middle. But the more stretchy your fabric is, the less tension you should have. Now, the tension numbers basically go, the smaller the number, the less tension it is. So if you're dealing with a stretchy fabric, then you want to go more towards the right, towards the smaller numbers. If you're dealing with like a wool or denim or something like that, you can go more towards the left. But honestly, I always just try to keep it here because your machine can easily get messed up if you don't if you keep changing it. Hold on one second. So keep it on 4. Well, for me, it's 4 because the highest is 8, so 4 is the middle.
Okay.
Now, what's the other one? Width. This is the width of your stitches. So as you can see, as you keep going down, it gets wider, and this way it gets smaller, so it looks more like a straight stitch rather than like a wide zigzag kind of stitch.
Length.
Length is how long your stitch is. If you're dealing with like a buttonhole where you are just kind of sewing in place, you want to put it on this thing. And then these are just the different kind of stitches. Huh?
The kind of saw.
Stitches. So you might have a straight stitch, a zigzag stitch, which, by the way, I have a video coming up on that. Okay.
What is that?
This here, touch that again. That
Reverse.
is for your back stitch, okay? As it says reverse. Now, the purpose of a back stitch is to lock your fabric into place.
Okay. Now.
So you're going to put that underneath.
How is display?
So hold on, let's line up the fabric first. So you want to line up the edge. Hold on. You can see here that there are lines. These are your seam guide lines. So the farther in you put your fabric, then the farther your needle is going to be. So what you should try to do is kind of decide like where you want to line it up. So you should probably line it up with like the second line.
Sure.
Or maybe the first line. The first line's okay. Okay. So it's lining it up with the first line, and then you're gonna drop your foot. To drop your foot is here. Hold on, wait. So there's the foot at the back of the machine. You're just gonna pull it down. Good. Right, so he's gonna pull it down and he dropped his foot. Then you're going to lightly put your foot down on the gas just for like very short moment because we need to backstitch. Wait, but make sure your machine's on. Alright, do it. Okay, now hold that down. And come back. Okay, so you've backstitched. That's how you backstitch. Now you want to take your pin out. You're going to go down. Do not go too fast. We're not driving a Toyota Corolla.
What should I do now?
So just keep, oh babe, this is bad.
It's going wrong.
Yeah, because you have to guide it. And why is this on zigzag? So this should be on straight stitch. Should be on straight. And it's hard to hold it. Hold on. I need to just set up this camera. Sorry. Okay. So you want to be guiding this. Like, it's kind of like driving. So we're going to start. So you want to always make sure you're going to put your foot down. You always want to make sure that the edge of this is always like with this line. So when you're putting your foot on the presser foot, don't let it go all over the place. Like, keep it very steady, and also take out your pins. Do not go so fast.
Okay, sorry.
And that's basically it. So you're just going to keep... Now, when you're doing that, you don't want to stretch your fabric. You just want to put your hand lightly on the fabric and kind of guide it. But you don't want to be stretching your fabric from this side or from this side. You don't want to stretch it at all, basically. And, yeah. So that's how you do it. Now, when you get to the end, you want to keep going to the end, and then you have to backstitch again. Okay, that's enough. Okay, and that's good. Keep going all the way out, and keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, stop. And then you should have, you see he kept going, and now he has this little tail. Now, if you have a good machine, you should have a cutter, like, right on the side. And you could literally just cut the thread with this thing here. Or if you don't have that, then you can use, then you can use a seam cutter. So go ahead and just cut it. Right, so he's keeping his foot on the presser foot, and then he's bringing it up, and then he's just cutting. How did you do that? Oh, you cut it? Oh, okay. Good, and that's basically it, you guys. Let me just flip this camera. And that's basically it. I know it's like almost freaking 40 minutes of showing you guys that. I wanted to show you guys how to do the bobbin as well. But I feel like this video is too long, so I think next week I'll show you guys how to do the bobbin.
And this is hard, I cannot.
It's hard? You thought it was hard?
For me.
Really?
Yeah, I tried.
Are you going to be able to remember everything that I showed you?
I think so.
You think so? I hope so. So yeah, can you show them how it came out? Look, it's a nice straight stitch. We messed up at the beginning because it was on zigzag stitch. It should have been on the straight, but we didn't realize that. But in general, it looks very good. Now, can you go back to the front here? I'm sorry. Here, you can see that it's like very... Hold it straight, please. You can see that it's like a lot of thread here, right? It looks very chunky because that's where he did the back stitch, and this is just gonna lock the stitches in place. So yeah, that is it, you guys. That is how you set up your machine. So today I showed you guys how to set up your main thread, how to set up your bobbin, and how to use your seam gauge, and how to create seam allowance and use the lines on your machine for seam allowance. And I showed you also how to do the tension, what the tension is, what the width is, the length, and the stitches, and stuff like that. So next Saturday, if my life doesn't require something else of me, I'll show you guys how to do the bobbin, how to set up the bobbin. Alright? So until next time, See you guys. Ciao.
Ciao.